In the heart of Karnataka stands one of India's most sacred temples, a place where faith isn't just practiced, but it's lived. Pilgrims travel for days, some barefoot, some carrying offerings, believing every step brings them closer to salvation. But behind the chants, behind the smell of incense, and the clicking of prayer bells, another story has been quietly rotting in the shadows. After nearly 2 decades, a whistleblower claims this holy ground was hiding something unthinkable. Hundreds of women and minors raped, murdered, and buried in silence. And now, after years of whispers and denials, the earth itself is starting to speak. This is the story of Dharmasthala's mass burial. To understand why these allegations shook people to the core, you have to understand Dharmasthala itself. This place isn't just some dot on the map. This is the spiritual heartbeat of Karnataka. Tucked between green hills and winding roads, the town looks like it's been plucked out of a postcard. The kind of place where strangers smile at you and every shopkeeper knows the temple schedule by heart. And at the center of it all stands Sri Manjunatha temple with ancient stone walls, carved pillars, and that a golden gopuram glowing under the sun. People come here not just from Karnataka, but from all over India and sometimes even abroad just to pray, to offer, and to believe. Here I'm talking about thousands of people every single day. Entire families lining up before sunrise, kids breaking coconuts, old women counting prayer beads, and the air is thick with smell of jasmine flowers and ghee lamps. You can hear the temple bells from almost anywhere in the town. And the temple isn't just about worship, it feeds the hunger. Free meals served to anyone who walks in. It runs schools, hospital, and charity trust. The people who manage it is the Hegde family, and they are treated with almost royal respect there. For generations, they have been the custodians of both temple and the town's reputation. Which is exactly why the first time anyone heard whispers about something dark there, they brushed it off. Impossible. Not in Dharmasthala. Not in our temple. But whispers have a way of growing. And soon, one voice was about to speak loud enough to be heard across the entire country. So here's where the quiet prayers and the polite denials stop. And the story suddenly feels like someone just yanked the curtains open. One man, that's all it took. One man to say, I can't keep this inside anymore. He's not just some outsider with an agenda. No, this guy lived there, worked there, ate the same prasadam, walked the same temple corridors everyone else did. He knew the routines, the rituals, and most importantly, he knew which doors stayed locked and why. And then one day, out of nowhere, he shows up to the police with this insane claim, saying, I buried them, hundreds of them, women, children. I dug the holes myself. Imagine you're the cop hearing this. Do you laugh? Do you arrest? Do you even believe a single word? And then he says it all started in the mid-90s. That over the years, women who are mostly poor, some just teenagers, would come here and then vanish. No complaints filed, no big drama, just gone. And when that happened, he says he would get an order, dig, wrap, cover, and forget. Even if 10% of this is true, we are not just talking about a scandal, we are talking about one of the biggest serial crimes in Indian history. And this happening in a place where people think it's pure. The cops didn't toss him out. They immediately Almost overnight, they formed a special investigation team. Because this guy, he wasn't just talking, he was pointing. He was saying the exact directions. Go there, dig here, near the old banyan tree. And when they dug, the first bone they found, and that wasn't an ancient one, it was very recent one. Recent enough to make every single person at that site go silent. And trust me, that silent, it didn't last long, because the next hole they dug has changed everything. Picture this, the morning sun over Dharmasthala, but instead of pilgrims queuing at the temple gates, there is a police tape, armed guards, a patch of ground section of like it's hiding something ugly. And just few feet away, standing a whistleblower with his arms crossed silent. You know that look people have when they have been carrying a secret for way too long? It's not pride, it's not fear, it's just a relief, and that's him. Like he's thinking, go on, see yourself. The first shovel goes in. The sound is sharp and dry. This isn't a soft temple garden soil. This is hard, compact dirt. The officer digs slow at first, carefully, and then one of them stops. A bit of white peeking through the brown, not a stone and not a root. It's a bone. And here's the part that chills everyone. Forensic experts later confirm it's a very recent one, it's a fresh bone. And before anyone can even process that, they moved to the second site he pointed out. There were more bones. Third site, same result. Fourth, the same. Fifth, the same. By now, no one was saying maybe. No one was saying rumor. This is real. Villagers started gathering at the barricades. Some cried, some yelled, some saying, stop digging, you're defaming our temple. The air is electric and the faith is colliding head on with the cold hard evidence. And when these two things clash, guys, it never ends quietly. Because what happened next turned a quiet investigation almost into a war. Up until this point, the special investigation team was just digging, finding bones, and collecting evidence. It was ugly, yes, but it was still quiet enough that the rest of India barely knew what was going on. And then the whispers got louder. Louder in the tea stalls, louder in the village street, louder in the WhatsApp groups. Until they weren't whispers anymore, they were accusations. And you know how it is, once people start naming names, things get messy. The whistleblower did not hold back. He wasn't just saying bad people, he was saying this person, that person. People tied to temple operation, local political figures, and even hints that some officials might know something years ago. But there's the problem. There are no documents, no written orders, just his words and the bones. And in India, when you're going up against money, power, and religion all at once, bones alone don't always win. The temple trust hit back hard by saying, this is a conspiracy. We feed thousands of people every day. We educate children. We heal the sick. We do not kill. The press conference looked calm. Their statement sounded convincing. And for the people who had grown up with nothing but respect for this place, it was enough to make them doubt the special investigation team. You can feel the town splitting. On one side, the believers, on the other, the ones who have seen enough to know something's wrong. And in the between, the special investigation team trying not to get crushed. And then, like it wasn't dangerous enough, the SIT uncovers something that changes the investigation completely. Because this isn't random anymore. It's starting to look organized. Up until now, the remains were just remains. It's sad, shocking, but scattered. And then the forensic reports landed, and suddenly the dots started connecting. Most victims were women, and the age was between 15 and 35. The cause of death, almost all either strangled or struck in the head. Many showed signs of sexual assault. And in more than a few cases, traces of rice from the temple's own kitchen were still in their stomach, which means they likely ate their last meal inside those walls. And you don't need me to tell you what that suggests, right? Even the cloth used to wrap the bodies had similarities, some with faint temple laundry marking, different victims, different here, but the method was same. This wasn't a random violence, this was a process. Someone, or maybe several someones, doing the same thing over and over for years. And that's the kind of detail that makes an SIT skin crawl. Because once you realize there is a pattern, you also realize there is a plan. But just as the picture was starting to take shape, the one man who could confirm it all has vanished. And with him gone, the line between the truth and the cover up started to blur. One day he's there, standing at the dig sites, pointing, talking, leading the SIT straight to the grave, and then he's gone. No phone calls, no sightning, no trace. The man who lit the fuse on this entire investigation has vanished. Now people say different things. Some swear he ran for his life, others whisper he was helped into disappearing. Either way, without him, the SIT is suddenly holding a half solved puzzle and someone's pocketing the missing pieces. And while they are trying to keep the momentum, the pushback gets louder. Temple loyalists call it a mere campaign. Political voices warn the SIT to tread carefully. Journalists who dig too deep start reporting that their sources are unavailable. Meanwhile, the earth keeps shaking. Another site is dug, more bones. Families start coming forward with old cold cases, daughters, sisters, wives who have vanished decades ago. And yet, even now, not a single person has been convicted of murder in connection to this grave. Not a single one. Which leaves us asking the question no one in the power seems to want to answer. Is this justice unfolding or a cover up tightening its grip? Because if the whistleblower was telling the truth, this isn't just one of India's darkest crimes. It is one of the most protected ones. And maybe the scariest part is that the people who did this would still be there, right there, smiling, blessing, greeting devotees at the temple gate. Monsters standing in the light. And that's it for today. I am Sai from SPK Reports, unmasking crime one story at a time.